guys, what's going on? I just have a quick video review for you today of Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold. This is a mashup of the two properties. Batman the Brave and the Bold was a short-lived, well, I say short-lived, I think it got 3 seasons. It was a kinder, gentler Batman series that came on, I want to say, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Diedrich Bader was the voice of Batman. Diedrich Bader is currently on American Housewife as Greg, the husband and the dad. He was also in Office Space, Drew Carey Show. He's one of those guys that's been working for a very long time. You might not know his name, but you probably know who he is, but you would probably recognize him. I am mostly, I'm a fan of most of these direct-to-video releases like this. And I took a chance on this because, obviously, Batman. And I like Scooby-Doo, too. And I like when they go traditional. We have, like, Lego Scooby-Doo movies. And we have, they've tried some different things with Scooby-Doo. But this is pure Scooby-Doo. This is, this is traditional stuff. And I'm happy to report that I think this movie is a ton of fun. For the Scooby-Doo fan, it's classic. It's got Matthew Lillard, who is Shaggy in the movies, the live action movies. He's been doing Shaggy for years now, and Frank Welker is still the voice of Fred Jones. It's been 50-something years. He's still the voice. Good job, Frank Welker, killing it, man. So what happens in the movie, plot, it's not a ton of plot, but this is Batman's universe. This is the Batman from Batman the Brave and the Bold, which was a team-up show based on a team-up comic book. For years and years, Batman the Brave and the Bold was Batman and someone else. And so I know the show did a lot of that too. The show would team up Batman with, like an obscure DC character, and give him time to shine. And that's exactly what we get here. So we have Scooby-Doo mingling with Batman and Detective Chimp, Martian Manhunter, Black Canary, Plastic Man. Oh man, there's so many people. I don't even want to name any because some of the fun is seeing, like, what? Look who it is. There's so many DC characters. This thing digs deep. And I feel like one of the reasons it succeeds is because the Scooby Gang, Mystery Inc., is allowed to... They're in a world now that has supernatural. Because the Batman of the Batman Brave and the Bold series is... There's stuff. There's aliens. There's monsters. Like, not just people that you pull their mask off. Like, there's actual monsters. Like Clayface, right? Like Clayface... in a real Scooby, like, he would not exist in real Scooby-Doo because it'd be like, oh man, Potter from the farm, you wanted to shut down the carnival. But no, in this world, we have actual supernatural beings and creatures and things that exist beyond, like, the X-Files, right? It's like Scooby-Doo and actual X-Files. But it's all done with a sense of fun and adventure. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's clever and it's cute and it's got tons of inside jokes, tons of Easter eggs. For the longtime DC fan, there's jokes about, I don't even want to tell you. I don't even want to tell you. But if you've been following DC, if you've read DC Comics, there's stuff in here you're going to be like, oh, what? There's a Batman Fugitive throwaway joke. That's like, if you don't even know what they're talking about, you miss it. But they're like, Batman, you wouldn't want to be a fugitive or something like that. He's like, oh, I know all about being a fugitive. It's like, he's talking about that storyline from the comics from like 15 years ago. It's good stuff, really good stuff. You can tell that a lot of love went into this, and I don't want to tear this down, but I'm going to compare it to the Lego Batman movie. Okay, now I know that I am not the only one. This movie has a ton of fans. I think it's fine. The Lego Batman movie has a tone that kind of feels too cool for school, like. These characters, the movie feels like it's cooler than the characters. It's kind of ironic. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a little bit ironic. And this achieves the same thing with no irony at all. This movie is genuine. This is a sincere, fun Batman movie that I would be more than happy to show my kids. Well, I have one kid. I'd be more than happy to show my kid and any future kids that I have. They can watch this too because it really sums up like what's fun and special about Batman and Scooby-Doo. Hand-drawn animation with some computer embellishing, I guess, like the Mystery Machine, all the scenes where the Mystery Machine is driving, I think that's CG, but it works. I will say, like, Joker makes an appearance in here, Penguin makes an appearance in here, Riddler, and yet it's not really their story. This is not like Batman has to stop the Joker. It's not that kind of a story. It's got a lot more layers than that. So if you're into that, if you like DC, if you like, it's crazy to me because I feel like the Warner Brothers animation department is knocking it out of the park. And they achieve their best success when they're not being ironic about the characters, when they're not trying to change things because they think that, well, this doesn't play anymore. When they're just being true to the history of these characters, I think that's when they're doing their best stuff. And here's another one that I'm like, this came from Warner Brothers. I guess, Warner Brothers has Hanna-Barbera now. This would have been a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but Hanna-Barbera doesn't really exist like that anymore. It's all Warner Brothers animation. And so that's what this is. It's a Warner Brothers animated product, and I highly recommend it. Just for funsies, if you're interested in more stuff like this, I would recommend both of these. These are the Steelbook versions, but Batman, we have the Return of the Caped Crusaders and Batman Two-Face. These were... I guess 2017, maybe. This was Adam West and Burt Ward, and in this Julie Newmar. All the Batman 66 actors came back to do, the surviving ones came back to do their parts in these movies. And in this case, Two-Face is William Shatner, which is fantastic. Like, yes, please. Same tone. That's why I bring these up. They're the same tone. They're fun for all ages. They don't take themselves too seriously, but they love Batman. Like, that's the thing about all this stuff. Like, loves Batman. It doesn't think it's cooler than Batman. It doesn't have to change Batman's characterization. It's in love with Batman. I would also say, if you like Scooby-Doo and you like some of the newer stuff, or you want more Scooby-Doo with a more, newer Scooby-Doo stories, I would highly recommend the Scooby-Doo and Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery. This thing came out, when was this? 2016, I think, maybe 2015. This thing is so freaking good. This made I don't really do top 10 lists anymore, but the year that this came out, this made my top 10 list because it's just fun. Like, Kiss always has been a little cartoony, a lot cartoony. And if you've seen Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park, that was Hanna-Barbera, right? So they have finally embraced that they are cartoon characters. And so this movie is the same thing. Like, it puts Scooby-Doo and the gang, Mystery Inc., in a Kiss mystery, a rock and roll mystery, with the music of Kiss. And there's like these psychedelic sequences where they play the music, and there's like these living videos. It's amazing. It's fantastic. There are some special features on this Scooby-Doo Batman Brave and the Bold. It has the dynamic Scooby-Doo affair and the Caped Crusader caper, which, if you do not have this collection, which we talked about in our Hanna-Barbera video, link up above, if you do not have that, they're on this. Those two movies were part of the new Scooby-Doo movies. And they're fun. They're not nearly as good as this. But for what they are, for vintage Scooby-Doo, good stuff. So that's it. I just want to point this out, highlight this. I liked it so much, I tweeted Diedrich Bader. And it's not something I do a lot, but I was like, hey, did you have as much fun working on this movie as I had watching this movie? Because I know that he had been sad. Brave and the Bold ended. I feel like it probably ended too soon. And I know that he was sad to move on, because when you're Batman, in any capacity, I think it's tough to let that go. And I know that I heard an interview with him several years ago where he was talking about how hard it was to do that last episode, and how they tried to pay tribute to the DC history of the past and these characters. And so I tweeted him. I was like, was it as fun to step back into the role of Batman as I had watching it? Was it that much fun? And he tweeted me back, and he was like, best part ever. And I thought that was really cool. So he clearly appreciates being Batman. I appreciate that this thing got made. No fanfare, just showed up on the shelves at Target one day. I don't feel like they sneak these things out. Everything Hanna-Barbera related, all these classic stuff, I feel like they're just like, just showing up in stores quietly with no pomp and circumstance whatsoever. And that's unfortunate, because I would have been, like day and date for this. I'm a little bummed. This is a DVD, and there is no Blu-ray release. There's a digital release. At the time of this recording, the digital release costs more than this. It's important for me to support physical media, so I had to go with physical. But maybe we'll get a Blu-ray down the road. If we do, I will buy it twice. And if the price on the digital drops, if it goes on sale, I'll pick that up too. I'll add that to my digital collection, because this is a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for your time. Click that like button, hit subscribe. Head over to serialatmidnight.com. Check out all the stuff we've got there. Our cartoon stuff, our comic book stuff, music stuff. Head over to, you can follow us on Twitter at @serialatmidnight. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you later.